This is the GOAT Level Podcast with your host, the GOAT, the legend, the hero, Van Pugh.
Look, the Cowboys are overrated. Please, Cowboys fans, don't get all excited because, you're going to win the division, sure, but you got a big storm a-coming. You look at the playoff race and you're going to face probably Seattle, right? Seattle's going to kill you in Dallas. Well, even if you get past Seattle, how are you going to beat the Saints or the Rams? You beat the Saints the first time. As much as your defense dominated, you dominated time of possession, you still almost gave that game away. And if they got that fourth down and goal, you probably lose that game. And it's a whole nother story playing in a Superdome against the Saints as in compared to at home on a random Thursday night at Jerry's World on a short week for the Saints. The playoffs is a whole nother story. You're done. You're finished. Let's talk about this Eagles-Cowboys games. I'm not going to blame the refs. I'm an Eagles fan. I'm not going to blame the refs at all. It was a fumble. Yeah, sure, the pass interference was a little ticky-tack, but they only showed one angle, and it kind of looked like Goddard was pushing Heath away. It kind of looked like he gave a little shove, so we get him that. We were helped out by the little roughing the passer penalty. I did not understand at all. I will take it, though. All that, we still scored. Even though they took a touchdown away from us, we still scored. There were some other little missed calls here and there. And then we didn't get the coin toss. I knew we couldn't stop them. I thought they could do just enough to maybe force a field goal like they've been doing all game. But no. Fourth quarter and overtime was all Amari Cooper. I knew when we played the Cowboys, I was like, how are we going to stop Amari Cooper and all our starting corners are out? We got young guys and practice squad players. How are we going to stop Amari Cooper? I guess we did a good job first three quarters, but I think that's mostly because Dak was just incompetent. Dak Prescott had 2 interceptions, and he was throwing the ball all over the place. It's another reason why I wouldn't get too excited, Cowboys fans, because Dak Prescott, he's inconsistent, and he's not really elite, okay? He's not that great. Now, Ezekiel Elliott is just generational talent, just like Saquon Barkley. But I'll get to Saquon Barkley later. The Dallas Cowboys, you're playing well. You got 5 in a row. The Eagles should have won both of those games. The first time, it was the Eagles gave it away. The second time, the Cowboys pretty much dominated. They doubled our total yardage. They doubled our time of possession. They should have dominated the game, but they left the window open, and the Eagles had a chance to climb right through, and they didn't. And, the refs didn't help, but you got to make those plays. You got to get them third downs. I just kept screaming at the TV, just give me the play. Just give me the play sheet, Doug. Just give me the play sheet, because you a low fan. I can probably do a better job at this point. It's okay, though. The Eagles still have a chance. You look at the wild card, the Redskins not winning another game. Their best chance of winning the game is against the Jaguars, because the Jaguars' offense is the worst in the league. Yes, it's worse than Oakland. Just off eye test, it's just that bad. So the Redskins can kind of find a way to win that game. If they can find a way to score on the Jaguars' defense, all it takes is 3 points. They can shut out the Jaguars' offense and then maybe score a field goal or 2, and that's all they need, man. That's all they really need to beat the Jaguars, because that offense is non-existent. Non-existent, to say the least. But we got it, though. Back to the Eagles. They still have a chance. Because I'm looking at the Vikings. They're losing now. So the Seahawks are running away with that first wild card spot. So now you got Minnesota. You got Carolina 6-7. You got Redskins probably not winning another game 6-7. Got the Eagles 6-7. Look out for the Giants though. They're 5-8, and they can beat the Cowboys. I don't know who else they play, but that team, they're coming, and they could sneak in the playoffs, but the Eagles have the tiebreaker over them, so they would have to jump over us, which isn't happening. So their playoff hopes will probably die next week, or that the Cowboys will get rid of them. But they can beat the Cowboys. It doesn't matter at this point. Anyway, y'all are really buying into this Amari Cooper hype. He's really good. I always knew he was good. But don't get too hyped yet. Playoffs hasn't started. And I swear, people got tape on him and stuff. Got tape on Prescott and all these guys. I'm telling you, all it takes is, I guess, you play a good zone defense. You stop Zeke. You make Dak pat the ball and run around. I think you'll shut that offense down. It's a middle of the road offense. Like, it's not all that great. The minute they stop Zeke, it's a wrap. I don't care nothing about Amari Cooper. The only reason Amari Cooper was hot yesterday is because the Eagles' secondary is just, they freestyle him, bro. Like, I don't know who's out there. Rasul Douglas was his second year from West Virginia. He's a backup. Sidney Jones injured all last year. He's pretty much backup. Then you got other guys. I don't even know who they are. Yeah, they were supposed to cook us like that. And the game still went to overtime. And Rasul Douglas, if he had caught that ball, instead of Amari Cooper, pick six to the house. I'm telling you. But it's okay. I think the Eagles can get that 6th wild card spot. And do we really want that spot? Because then we have to play the Bears, and the Bears defense, if we can't score on the Dallas defense, we definitely can't score on the Bears defense. But I say that, and I realize that the Giants scored like 30 on them. So, I don't know. It's still not looking good, but their offense isn't that good either. So, hey, I'd give the Eagles a chance if they go to Chicago and they play them in the wild card. I'd want Dallas, though, because I want to end them once and for all, because I don't think they're that great. They on a little 5-game winning streak, but they will be out in the wild card or the divisional. Just wait. Now, the rest of this NFL slate, the Redskins lost 40-16. It was 34-0 at halftime. It was 40-0 in the third quarter. And yeah, the Redskins done, bro. Redskins done. I don't know why the Redskins Eagles tickets are $80 to start off with. It's probably Eagles fans. It's probably going to be mostly Eagles fans at that game. I don't blame them. I mean, the Redskins are a joke. Back to LOL Redskins. I'm dying, man. That's hilarious. Back to LOL Redskins, because they're a joke. They're my favorite sitcom. I had to take them seriously for a little bit. Then the injuries came, and then they just haven't recovered. Adrian Peterson bottled up. Ain't going nowhere. I mean, Redskins still a talented team. They're not winning another game. Like I said, their best chance is the Jaguars. And also Saquon Barkley. I don't know if we're ever going to stop him for the next 10 years. He's going to run rampant through the division. As long as he has like a good supporting cast, the Giants are going to be a force to be reckoned with. And if they get a defense and a slightly better quarterback, oh my God. Here we go again. It's like them late 2000s, early 2010 Giants all over again. Can't have that. And they got Wayne Gallman backing them up. He's not bad himself. So they're a force to be reckoned with. I'm looking at this Seahawks-Vikings game, and good Lord, Kirk Cousins just looking awful right now. They just putting pressure on him. Their zone is just suffocating the Vikings. And they just got a pick six not too long ago. Y'all think Dallas can beat that? No way. No way. You think, ooh, he almost threw another pick. But I think another thing, Pittsburgh lost some weird field goal thing where the guy, like, he planted his foot and he slipped. I think that's pure home field advantage. And also Pittsburgh was without Ben Roethlisberger for a good chunk of time, and they couldn't get any points on the board without Ben in the game. It's just a sad 3-game losing streak. They could have won all of those games. They were one possession away in each of those games. Pretty head-scratching losses that come down to the last minute. Oh, well, I think the Steelers will be fine. They're going to have to start winning pretty soon, though. Like, they don't want to, like, slide out the playoffs or something. Or have a bad wildcard matchup, like going to L.A. or, well, if they was to play the Chargers in L.A., they'll be fine because their fans would pack the house and it'd be a home field advantage for them in that L.A. No way. No way. Kirk Cousins definitely threw that in front of the line. No way. Oh, my God. Man, Kirk Cousins and the Vikings just scored. It's 21-7 now. And it definitely was illegal. It don't matter. They're losing. And them losing opened things up for the Eagles and the Panthers and, maybe the Redskins, maybe the Giants. But I think at the end of the day, I think it'll come down to the Eagles and Panthers. And the Panthers have the tiebreaker because they stole a game from us in Philly. I'm telling you, if we end up being tied, us not showing up in the fourth quarter is going to come back to haunt us. And I'm going to lose sleep over that. Because I'm like, I know we had them for 3 quarters, and fourth quarter we just died. Same thing that happened against the Titans. Those are 2 for sure wins we should have had. 6 of our 7 losses come down to the last minute. That's ridiculous. Like, y'all not converting on third down, and the defense is not up to par. It's unacceptable. We got to get it together, yo. Like, for real. What's this? The rest of this NFL slate. Cleveland won. They beat the Panthers. I should have picked them at MGM because the Panthers are on a losing streak, and I don't know. I can't explain the Panthers' losing streak. They're too talented to be losing 4 or 5 games in a row. They're not like the Redskins. See, the Redskins have an excuse. The Panthers, they have everybody, and they're just freaking losing. Like, I don't know what to say. Chargers won again, barely. They almost lost to Jeff Driscoll. No Andy Dalton. Like, that's kind of ridiculous, bro. Like, facts. But we'll see. This playoff race is pretty interesting for sure. So, okay. The Caps won in Columbus. I was in Columbus visiting Zach and watching the Caps at Nationwide, and the Caps took care of business, man. They had 3 in the first period. I think they had 2 in the first period. They was taking care of business. I will say this, though. Columbus had a lot of shots. They were right there with us in shots. They just couldn't get it to go. Holtby was amazing. They had like 2 that hit the post, but other than that, like, Holtby was just on his grind. And Ovechkin scored 1. Honestly, the Capitals had better chances, and they probably could have scored about 7. They didn't. I'll take 4-0. It was cool being a Nationwide. cool fan base when they had something to cheer about. I'm so glad they won 4-0 because I didn't want to hear that cannon. I saw that cannon and I was like, oh no, these fools crazy. How do you have a cannon in an indoor stadium? Y'all are doing way too much. No, I heard the cannon in pregame. I was like, no, we cannot let them score. I do not want to hear that cannon at all. We got them out of there. Third period, they were leaving. That was so much fun. I don't even have anything against Columbus, man. I was just so happy for the Caps winning like that. But on the flip side, the Wizards lost to the Cavaliers by what, 20? 30? I don't know, but they lost. They got blown out. John Wall had 0 points. He had 1 point in 26 minutes. I don't know if he was hurt or he was just loafing. And Colin Sexton had 29 and 6. Like, Colin Sexton, honestly, he had 24 in DC. So I don't know what it is about him playing against the Wizards, but he be bringing it to us. And this time he had some help. And that's how they beat us. And I thought the Wizards were going to sweep them this year. And nope, didn't happen. Oh, well, it is what it is. And then the Wizards lost again tonight. But the role players stepped up and tried to get a comeback going. And it just didn't happen, okay? It's okay because it's over. It's okay. Season has just been one big disappointment for the Wizards. When they got the Dwight Howard, I was like, oh, they can match up with the Warriors. Not only did the Warriors blow them out, but ever since then, it's just they haven't really been winning games. And John Wall's hurt, and the team is dysfunctional, and stuff coming out the locker room. I don't know what to do. I don't know how we gonna make the playoffs, but then again, you look at the records of everyone else, and the Wizards are right in the mix, even with a losing record. I think they'll be fine. They just need a big 2019 surge. If they can win, I say like 60% of their games in 2019, like from January to April, they can sneak in the playoffs. Now, whether or not they beat Toronto, that's Toronto or Philly, that's another story. Or Milwaukee, that's another story. But, who knows? With a healthy John Wall, Dwight Howard, Bradley Beal, who knows what they can do? Sure. Now, I went to the Maryland State Championship, 4A, right? I forgot what happened with the other ones, but I'm going to look it up. I definitely need to look up the 1A championship because Douglas from Upper Marlboro, I saw them against Fairmont Heights, and they made it all the way to the title game. And I was looking at them at Fairmont Heights, and they didn't look like a championship team. I thought they were going to get killed in Baltimore. They didn't. They beat Dunbar, and they beat some other team, and there they are. They're in the championship. I wonder what happened. But I do know what happened with the 4A championship. I knew. I kind of picked Quince Orchard to edge, and that's kind of what happened because I was like, okay, both teams have good records. Both teams can run the ball. I knew North Point had an added dimension of having a slot receiver who was like a Rondell Moore type, and they had a quarterback that can run as well. So I knew that they had some speed that can give Quince Orchard trouble. And I was like, if they can get the ball to their athletes, especially number 4, they would give them trouble, and they were giving them trouble. I thought they were just going to run read option all day. No, they came empty. They were in a shotgun. They were airing it out. They were exposing that cover 2. Number 4 had like 4 touchdowns. He had like 3 touchdowns. However, I knew Quince Orchard would win because of coaching, experience, discipline. They didn't turn the ball over. They may have like one time. And up front, I was like, if North Point going to win, they're going to have to win the battle up front. And in my opinion, they didn't. And Quince Orchard just ran the ball the entire game. Like, maybe they play action a few times, but for the most part, Quince Orchard, they just ran the ball down their throats. And they won the game. And that's what Quince Orchard does to everybody. They just overpower you. They don't do anything fancy. They just overpower you. They don't need to go in shotgun. They don't need spread offense. They just line up and they just run you over. And, you know, that's what they did to North Point. When they lost to Bullis earlier this year, they couldn't do that. It was a dogfight. And they lost the dogfight. So, hey, congrats to Quince Orchard. It was QO, whatever you want to call them. It was a good game. It's kind of cold, but I was prepared for that. So, hey, it was great. Hey, OU football in the playoffs, despite that defense. I went to West Virginia game. Typical OU football the last 4 or 5 years. Basically typical OU football in the Lincoln Riley era. Score a lot of points and give up a lot of points. Come down to the end, and the defense makes a stop you don't expect them to make. That's pretty much OU football the past 3 or 4 years. And that's pretty much the West Virginia game. And then the Texas game, the defense really stepped up in the fourth quarter. I wish they did that when I was there in Dallas, but it don't matter. I'd rather have this game because we're in the playoffs. And Kyler Murray is incredible. He won the Heisman. I mean, look at his stats compared to others. I mean, Haskins had the most passing yards. He leads the nation with 4,580 yards passing, 47 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That is insane. 70% completion. His stats are better than I thought. The problem is, though, Kyler had 4,053 passing yards, 40 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, but 892 rushing yards and 11 touchdowns. And he was clutch despite a terrible defense. You got to give Kyler Murray the edge. And Tua, it's just the championship game. He had it locked up. You know what I'm saying? But the championship game, it just wasn't a good look. Him not playing well and then getting hurt, like, it just was not a good look. Kyler was way more clutch in the championship than Tua was. Tua really, it's the first time Tua really got tested all season, and he didn't answer the bell. But I guess that's mostly because he was hurt. Man, whatever. You could have made an argument for any one of those three, but Kyler got it. If you just watched Kyler play the whole season, you would have gave it to him anyway. Like, and Dwayne Haskins, honestly, he had way more attempts than all these guys, 496. Like, I'm pretty sure Gardner Minshew had more, but yeah. I don't know. They were all deserving, and I'm glad Kyler came on top. 2 Heisman winners in a row. OU football is just really blessed, and I'm glad to be a fan because the one time I tried to play for them, it didn't go too well. And, you know, I've told the story to a select few people, so if you want to know more about that story, just hit me up. Hey, man, I will preview OU in Alabama the week of, but it's going to be a tough game. It's like 2014 all over again. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. All right. Well, I'm out. Peace.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the GOAT Level Podcast. Make sure you share, subscribe, and get money.